welcome to the fourth episode of Birkenwasser Knits. I'm Katrine Birkenwasser, and in this episode I'm going to talk about my new Astrum sock pattern and how I came up with this design. And then, as always, I'm gonna just show what I've been working on during the last week. But yeah, just the other day I published my first sock pattern, Astrum socks, which have like a star toe sock starting from the toe. Astrum is Latin for star, and that's where the name comes from. It's the toe, and it's maybe you can see there's also the star pattern on the sole side and on the toes, so like that. And I'm gonna just show you how you start knitting the sock. So you first cast on for the star that's gonna be worked around the toes. So this is what you have to start with. You start with like this, with the little star, and you increase enough to have the star worked around the toe, and once you have the star finished, it will be nicely wrapped around your toes, and then you just continue with the lace pattern until you come to the gussets. And the gussets are also trying to look a little bit like the lace pattern, so it's not just your regular gusset. And then you work a heel flap, turn your heel, eye of partridge stitch, it's my favorite heel enforcement, and then you just continue in the lace pattern around the leg. So it's a nice, simple, lacy summer sock. And this, the idea for this design came this winter when it was Jyväskylä Summer Knit Festival's Winter Festival edition. And the Winter Festival is a little bit different to the Summer Festival in that you only buy one ticket, and that ticket includes all the, I think there was a dinner and there was a Sunday brunch, and there was also a sock class with Rachel Kupi. And this was actually a really nice thing because those of you who have been following my blog, you might have noticed that I have always said that I'm not a sock knitter. I don't like to knit socks. And you might wonder why have I designed a pair of socks. And you might have also noticed that I have been knitting quite a few pairs of socks, despite not being really a sock knitter or enjoying sock knitting that much. And I think it might have been the Tour de Sock competition that got me interested in sock knitting more. So I used to only knit socks for my kids when they needed new socks, or I even asked my sister to knit socks for them because I didn't feel like knitting socks. But with the Tour de Sock competition I got interested in all the different ways of doing socks. And then when there was this, in a way, obligatory sock knitting class, I chose Rachel Kupi's, I think it was called Inspired Socks class, and our homework was to find a stitch pattern that we wanted to use to create a sock design. And I found this star pattern. It was originally for I think for a patchwork or something, so a star, hexagon shaped star that you could knit, and I started thinking that maybe you could just change the shape so that the star would go around your toes. And I started working on that during Rachel's class. And of course it wasn't that easy, so it took some time after the class to really, well, knit and rip and knit and rip until I got the star to work the way I wanted it to work. And then I had to think of, okay, well, now that I have the star around the toe, well, how's the rest of the sock going to look like? And as it's a lacy type of stitch pattern for the star, then I thought that there should be some sort of lace pattern also for the rest of the sock. And of course, with the star lace on the toes, it's not really a sock that you would wear with your boots, so it's just a lacy summer sock anyway. So then I thought that a lace pattern would go well with the rest of the sock, and of course that also took some time to find the perfect pattern, or just adjust the pattern so that it would look the way that I wanted it to look like. But now I have my first sock design here, and I'm actually super happy with this sock. I really like it. It looks nice, and it has something that maybe not every sock knitter has tried yet. So it has this star beginning for a sock. So the pattern is written for magic looping, and you can work that with a circular needle, but I would recommend starting with DPNs for the toe, so it's just easier to go with DPNs, and of course you can continue with DPNs for the remainder of the sock if you'd like to. Okay, but this is not the only sock that I've been working on lately. If you watched the previous episode, you saw that I had started the stage 2 of Tour de Sock. So I'm now all the way to the toes. I'm working on the toes, and I've been working 2 at a time. I prefer to do 2 at a time, just so that I don't have to go back and start from the beginning with the second sock. So it's nicer to go and make both at a time. But the problem is, like I said, I was thinking that I would knit these for my daughter, and they're pretty tight, and she wasn't at home when I started knitting them. And when she got home, she tried to try the socks on, but they just didn't fit her, so she couldn't even pull them on. So they're pretty tight. And her cousin just visited us today, and they're too small for her cousin as well. So there's one more cousin who is 3 years old, and I'm hoping that these socks will fit the 3-year-old. So it's actually a 56 stitch pattern, but with the cables it's pretty tight, and it's supposedly women's small, but you'd have to be a really tiny woman for these socks to fit. But let's see, I hope her cousin can use this, and the thing of working 2 socks at a time is that then by the time my daughter got home, I was already doing the heel flaps, and then I just didn't want to rip back and start from the beginning doing a larger size, so I just decided that I'm gonna finish these socks and have the stage 2 done, and then hopefully I'll find someone who can wear these socks. Or maybe I'll just rip them once I'm done. So all I need is a photograph for the competition, and then I can show that I'm done, and then I can rip them afterwards. Okay, but I'm sitting here on my balcony, and I'm not going to show you the rest of the balcony right now, but what I've been also working on is this crochet rug for the balcony. So here's one, yeah, I guess I was thinking hexagon, but it's actually, it turned out to be something else. This rug project has been going on for the past 2 or 3 summers. So I saw this square shaped rug. This was a Finnish blog, I think, called Koukutettu. She had made a really pretty square rug, or a rug that's made of squares like this. So I thought that's what I want to do, and I bought the materials and started crocheting, but yeah, it's not really square, it's some other shape, and I'm not much of a crocheter. I don't do it enough, so when I just saw that this didn't work out, I left it on the balcony floor for a year or two, and then this spring I saw another blog. This was also a Finnish blog. I don't remember the name, sorry about that, but it was more of this shape. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try this, and this actually is nice and flat, so that's something special. I don't know, should I maybe I could have worked out the squares by changing the hook size or something else, but as I said, I'm not really used to doing crochet, so I didn't really know what to do to make it work. So anyways, I got this one flat piece, but then I started thinking, well, is that kind of too plain? Of course I'm gonna make several black ones and then add some pink, so there's gonna be some color, but still it's rather plain. And maybe this one has a nice holes in it, so maybe I could try and combine them. So then I worked another one that has more holes. It's trying to be the same shape partly as the square, and then combine it with this hexagon, and it's just, yeah, it's just too hard. It's standing on its own and it's not working out. So I decided to go back to this shape and do this. I just realized that I've made a mistake because it is a hexagon, but it's different than the one that I've been making now. So I'm gonna have to rip back this one, because this one is not a hexagon, it's more like a wheel. That's just, yeah, crazy. But this is my summer crochet project that's taking like every summer, so I'm just gonna have to rip this thing. Yeah, I just noticed that it's, yeah, I don't have instructions to do this, so I'm just looking at what I did last time, and I didn't notice exactly what I had been doing the previous time, so I'm just, yeah, it's like a project that never ends. You crochet some and then you rip it and work the same thing again, and yeah. But it's keeping me occupied, and it's nice to sit here on the balcony. The weather is warm and hot actually, and it's just nice to enjoy a little bit of cool breeze here outside. Yeah, but next time I'm gonna be talking about the Tour de Sock competition some more. So I hope I have these stage 2 socks finished, and I already have the stage 1 socks, and yeah, maybe the stage 3 will start next week, I think. So then I can get started on the stage 3 socks, and then I can talk more about the competition. So see you next week, and thanks for watching. Bye.